If I could sit down with every woman in her 20s before she started dating seriously, there are a few things I would want to tell her. Not because dating is scary, but because the person you choose to marry will influence every aspect of your future. These aren't rules to make dating complicated. They are lessons that can save you years of heartbreak and help you choose with wisdom instead of emotion. I look at the dating world today, and one thing I can notice is that many people are focusing on the wrong things. They keep asking questions like, is he attractive? Do I love him? Does he have money? Do we look good together? And while those things aren't completely irrelevant, they are often given far more importance than the things that actually determine whether a relationship can be healthy and lasting. Sometimes when I hear people share the stories behind their painful relationship or difficult marriages or even divorce, you realize that the warning signs were always there from the beginning. They just didn't know what to pay attention to. So in this video, I want to share 8 dating advice that I genuinely believe every young girl should hear before she gets into a serious relationship. Not because they will guarantee a perfect relationship, nothing can do that, but because they will help you make wiser decisions and hopefully save you from mistakes that are completely avoidable. Number 1, date to discover, not to convince. One of the biggest mistakes I see young women make is treating dating like an audition. They are so focused on being chosen that they forget they are supposed to choose too. They are constantly asking themselves, does he like me? Should I call him first? Am I doing the right things? How do I make sure he doesn't lose interest? And while there is nothing wrong with wanting someone to like you, I think there is a much more important question that many women forget to ask. Do I actually like who this man is? Not do I like the attention he gives me, not do I enjoy spending time with him, but is this someone whose character I genuinely admire? Is this someone I can trust? Is this someone I can be proud to build a life with? You see, dating is a season of discovery. It's a time to ask questions. It's a time to observe, to listen, to pay attention, to notice whether someone's words matches their actions, to see how they treat people who have nothing to offer them, to understand their values, their priorities, and the kind of life they are trying to build. You are not there to convince someone that you are worthy of love. You are there to discover whether this person is worthy of the kind of future you are hoping to build for yourself. That mindset changes everything, because instead of performing, you are observing. Instead of chasing, you are discerning. And instead of ignoring things because you don't want to lose the relationship, you are paying attention because you don't want to lose yourself. Dating isn't about trying to make someone choose you. It's about making a wise decision whether you should choose them. Number 2, don't become emotionally attached before you have gathered enough information. This point naturally follows the first one. It is difficult to discover who someone really is once you have become emotionally attached too quickly. Have you noticed that once you become emotionally invested in someone, you start interpreting everything in their favor? Their inconsistency becomes he's just busy. His poor communication becomes maybe he's not very good at expressing himself. His disrespect becomes, I'm sure he didn't mean it that way. His lack of effort becomes, maybe he's just going through a rough patch right now. And before you know it, you are making excuses for someone you just knew a few months ago. Attraction is normal. Liking someone is normal. Developing feelings is normal. But deep emotional attachment should only come after you have gathered enough information to know that this person is actually safe to trust. One mistake I see many women make is creating an entire future in their minds before they've really gotten to know the person standing right in front of them. They've imagined the wedding, they've imagined introducing him to their family, they've imagined even the children they will have together. Meanwhile, they are still trying to figure out whether he's consistent, He's honest, emotionally mature, and capable of commitment. Don't let your imagination outrun realities. Give people time to reveal themselves. Character takes time to observe. Integrity takes time to observe. Emotional maturity takes time to observe. Anyone can be impressive for a few weeks. Very few people can consistently be who they claim to be over time. So don't rush your emotions. Let trust grow first. Let consistency grow first. Let your knowledge of the person grow first. Because the more information you gather before becoming deeply attached, the better your chances of making a wise decision instead of an emotional one. Number 3, don't make chemistry your biggest requirement. Focus on compatibility. I think one of the reasons so many people make poor dating decisions is because we've been taught to chase chemistry above anything else. We ask questions like, do I get butterflies when I'm around him? Is there a spark? Do we have this amazing connection? Do we look good together? And don't get me wrong, chemistry is a beautiful thing. It's actually exciting. It makes you look forward to seeing the person. It can make the relationship feel effortless at the beginning. But chemistry is not the same as compatibility. Chemistry can make you enjoy someone's company. Compatibility determines whether the two of you can actually build a life together. Compatibility asks a set of different questions. Do we share similar values? How do we handle conflict? What does marriage mean to both of us? Do we communicate well? Do we respect each other? Can we solve problems together? Can I genuinely be myself around this person? These aren't the conversations that make people excited on social media, but they are the conversations that build a healthy relationship. I've seen people with incredible chemistry who couldn't survive ordinary life together. I've seen people whose relationship wasn't built on firework, but on friendship, respect, shared values, and mutual understanding. And those relationships became incredibly strong over time. Never make the mistake of assuming that because a relationship feels exciting, it's automatically the right one. Chemistry can bring two people together, but compatibility is what helps them stay together. Number 4, stop ignoring red flags because you are afraid of starting over again. Sometimes we don't ignore red flags because we don't see them. We ignore them because we are afraid of what seeing them could mean. We tell ourselves, maybe I'm overthinking, nobody is perfect, I'm sure it will get better, or perhaps the hardest one of all, I don't want to have to start all over again. Maybe you have already invested a year. Maybe you have already introduced him to your family. Maybe everyone already knows you are together. So instead of asking whether this relationship is healthy, you start asking how to make yourself comfortable with the things that make you uncomfortable. And that's a dangerous place to be. Now, let me be clear. A red flag is not someone forgetting your birthday once. A red flag is not someone having a bad day. It is not expecting perfection from any human being. I am talking about patterns. Consistent dishonesty, refusing to take responsibility, controlling behavior, lack of respect, constant manipulation, and unwillingness to grow. Those things rarely disappear simply because you got married. In many cases, marriage does not remove unhealthy patterns. It exposes them even more. Never become so afraid of starting again that you continue to walk in the wrong direction. Number 5, look closely at his family pattern. This point is one that most people simply misunderstand. When I say look at his family pattern, I am not saying simply reject someone because he didn't grow up in a perfect family. None of us did. Every family has strengths. Every family has struggles. What I am saying is this: the family we grow up in is often our first classroom. It is where we learn how people communicate, how conflict is handled, how love is expressed, how money is managed, what respect looks like. Those lessons shape us, whether we realize it or not. So instead of asking whether his family is perfect, ask better questions. What has he learned from his family? Is he aware of the unhealthy patterns in his family? Has he intentionally worked on them? Or does he believe everything he grew up seeing is normal? Because awareness makes a huge difference. Someone who recognizes unhealthy patterns and is committed to doing better often has a much healthier future than someone who doesn't recognize them at all. So don't only get to know the man, try to understand the environment that helped to shape him. Number 6, be very observant about how he handles finances. Notice I didn't say find a rich man. That's not the point. Income and financial character are not the same thing. Someone can earn a lot of money and still be financially irresponsible. Another person may not earn much today, but manages what he earns with wisdom, discipline, and integrity. Pay attention to how he thinks about money. Does he spend impulsively? Is he constantly trying to impress people? Does he live above his means? Does he keep his financial life a secret? Does he take responsibility for his obligation? Is he generous? Is he disciplined? These things matter because money affects every aspect of our life. Many relationship conflicts aren't simply about money itself. They are about habits, priorities, and values that money reveals. You don't have to interrogate someone about their bank accounts. You will learn a lot from the way they earn, spend, save, give, and plan. Financial wisdom isn't about having the biggest salary. It's about having the maturity to manage your resources responsibly. Number 7, don't lose yourself trying to keep the relationship. One of the saddest things you can do is slowly becoming someone else in a bid to keep the relationship. Sometimes it starts with the little things. You stop saying what you really think because you don't want to make him upset. You stop dressing the way you like because he doesn't approve it. You stop spending time with your friends. You begin adjusting your values, your dreams, your boundaries, and even your personality because you are afraid that if you are fully yourself, he will leave. But here is what I have learned. The right relationship will never require you to abandon yourself. Relationship require compromise, yes, but compromise is different from losing your identity. A healthy relationship should help you grow into a better version of yourself, not pressure you into becoming a smaller version of yourself. I always say this, a woman who knows herself is always attractive. Not because she's loud, not because she's perfect, but because she has a quiet confidence. She knows her values, she knows her boundaries, she knows what she's looking for. And because of that, she doesn't have to pretend to be someone else to be loved. Never trade your identity for a relationship. The right person should love the real you, not the you that is trying to earn their approval. Number 8, talk more than you touch. I have saved this one for the last because I think it is incredibly important. We live in a generation where physical intimacy often develops much faster than emotional intimacy. People spend hours together, they travel together, they are physically affectionate, but they have never had honest conversations about the things that actually matter. Talk, real talk. Talk about your values, your goals, your faith, your expectation of marriage, your views on children, conflicts, money, family, communication, the future you both want to build. Never be afraid of difficult conversations. Difficult conversations don't destroy healthy relationships. They reveal whether the relationship is healthy enough to continue. One conversation can reveal what months of attraction cannot. The more you talk, the less you would have to guess. And that's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself while dating. One of the reasons I am so passionate about this topic is because I do not believe that women choose the wrong partners because they are unintelligent. They choose wrongly because nobody taught them what to look for. We spend years preparing for careers. We prepare for exams. We prepare for interviews. But one of the biggest decisions we would ever make, choosing a life partner, is often left to chance, feelings, and whatever advice is online trending. That is actually why I created my course. In it, I go much deeper than I could ever go in one YouTube video. We talk about understanding yourself first, the different personality types in women, the different personality types in men, why two good people can still be poorly matched, how to recognize the kind of man you are genuinely compatible with, and how to choose from wisdom instead of emotion. If you are serious about preparing for marriage, not just planning a wedding, I genuinely believe this will help you a great deal. I would leave the link to the course in the description below if you would like to learn more. If there is one thing I want you to take away from this video, is this: the quality of your dating decision has a huge influence on the quality of your future. Don't rush. Don't ignore what matters. Don't choose someone simply because they are attractive or because you've already invested time. Date with your eyes open. Ask questions. Talk. Observe. Learn. And remember, you are not just choosing someone to spend the weekend with. You are choosing someone who may one day influence your peace, your children, your home, your growth, and so much of the life that you would build. So choose carefully. If this video was helpful, I would like to know which of the 8 advice stood out for you the most. Let me know in the comments. And if you know a young woman who is dating or preparing for marriage, share this video with her. It might be exactly the conversation she would need to have. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.